What would you think if I sang
the whole plan. Hi, I'm Candace Gourdain. This is Fitness and Harmonies. This week we're doing yoga for the inner critic. I want to remind you that we're getting together here together so that when we can help each other during this time for our mental, our physical, and our spiritual health, that we can feel better. And so this week's class is about my inner critic and how I got back, from my vacation and said, I don't want to go back to work. I don't want to have to do all those things to get ready and then, teach and all the things that I do. I want to stay on vacation. I don't want to have to do those things. And maybe the reason I didn't want to is because I felt like I would be judged. I'm not good enough. Well, wait, I have to prepare. And then I realized, well, no, it's the point of yoga that we don't judge, that we show up as we are. And really all we have to do is practice. So nothing here has to be perfect. And that's the point I want to make clear today. The Yoga Sutras. The Yoga Sutras, sutra means a thread or something that brings something together, is the authoritative text written millennia ago by a sage named Patanjali. And the Yoga Sutras is a series of what they call aphorisms, or you might think them as wise sayings or a sentence. There's 196 of those sentences or aphorisms or paragraphs that are arranged in 4 chapters. I'm not going to go through any of that. I'm just going to give actually the first and second sentences. The first one is really the most important. And that is, and now yoga. So if you like, please take a seat on your mat, because today's practice, I want to be all about coming back together. And so taking a seat on the mat, finding your space, finding a place to be, we're going to work today on the inner critic. So much goes on in our minds that isn't actually reality. And in fact, our thoughts are not who we are. So as I present myself here today saying, here I am back from a little bit of a break, am I good enough? I have to think, are my thoughts, are the things that I'm going to present going to be good enough? And I know, you're watching this and you're getting ready, getting set up to do some yoga asana, which is the 4th limb of the 8-limb practice, that the poses are just a way to clear out the chaos of the mind. So I'm going to give you the eight limbs. So if you will, hold up, 4 fingers on each hand, and then bring down your pinky finger on one hand, and that's the first limb. The first limb are the yamas. These are the restraints, things that we must do or must not do. And the first one is the most important, and that is ahimsa, do no violence. And that's all I'm going to talk about today. The second limb has to do with the niyamas, the observations, things like be clear, be clean, in thought and action. The third limb, as your third finger goes down, are the pranayama. And I know you know what that is. That's the breath. That's the energy that flows through us. The fourth limb, holding down this 4th finger on one hand, is the asana. Those are the poses that we do, the way we move and hold our bodies so that the energy can flow through us. Holding up the other hand and taking the pinky, we're up now to the 5th limb of the 8 limbs. The 5th limb is pratyahara, to remove yourself from the objects of the world, because the real experience of being in this conscious life is inside of us. Everything we need is inside. Taking this ring finger down, or up to that 6th limb, is dharana. Dharana means to concentrate, to hold yourself and discipline yourself to stay here now. That's tough. I hear things going on around us. So dharana, concentrate now. The 7th limb is dhyana, which is meditation, which is the whole point of the practice, is to get into a state where we're preparing the mind body for meditation. A lot of you know that as shavasana. And then the 8th limb, the final limb, is really what it's all about, and that is samadhi, that we bring our consciousness up and to a space where objects in the material world really don't have a part. We are just at one with the bliss. So hopefully that's where we're headed. Let's start here. So now with the index finger touching the thumb, representing our connection to the universe, finding a seat and scooping the abdominals in, draw the crown of the head up and draw the eyelids down. So now I invite you to contemplate and to concentrate on the first Yoga Sutra. The first line is, and now yoga. This invites us to immerse ourselves fully in this one practice. I am here now, and I am good enough as I am. Whether I do all the poses, whether I'm able to figure out this pranayama, I am enough. What we're doing in our practice is training the mind body to adapt to that. I am. I am all that is in the universe, and the universe flows through me, and that is my consciousness. Whether my shoulder or my neck or my back or my thoughts or my organs are working optimally or not, I am enough. I invite you to cultivate prana. That's the upward lifting wind. Vayu is wind. Inhale, exhale, cultivate prana, upward lifting vayu, that's wind. The Sushumna is the main nadi or channel of the body. You may feel or hear or sense the texture, the volume, or the flow of a cool or a warm or a vibrating or a soft, upward flowing wind. Practice now opening up the lungs, softening the shoulders. The whole purpose of our practice is to find the real power that flows through us, that is not us. So as I'm sort of looking at you and you are looking at me, we're not seeing the body, we're not seeing the true essence. That is within, that is in our actions, that is in how we cultivate prana, this life force that's upward lifting like a wind that lifts us up and brings us up out of the mud. Now begin pulling the abdominal walls in when you exhale, forcing air up out of the lungs. Go slowly, consciously connect, cultivate friendliness and compassion, avoid the drama and the negative. So that's what we're adapting to. So I was being negative, saying, I don't want to start, I don't want to do this again. Avoid that. Ignore those thoughts. They're not part of you anyway. They're fleeting. 3 breaths slow here. Here. The wind. Good, so then open your eyes. Hi. We're going to try bringing the soles of the feet together. So feel free to sit up on a blanket or a bolster. Again, today's practice is going to be really relaxed, really easy. If you can bring the soles of the feet together, try that. Push the heels together now. If they meet, push. So I'm looking at my feet and seeing if I can push them together. You can hold on to the ankles or the feet, kind of spreading out and rolling the thighs open. And then, believe it or not, we're going to lift and drop the knees. So this is called Patangasana. Patangasana, butterfly pose. And we're going to do this for about a minute. So I want you to inhale, exhale, keep that long length in the spine, and get energy in the Muladhara Bandha, the Muladhara Bandha, or the Muladhara chakra is the place at the base of the spine. We were just talking about that, how it's so important to keep that area clean and full of energy. So this is the root of our existence. So if you want to now close your eyes, all I'm doing is flapping the wings of this Patangasana, this seated butterfly pose. So use your mind now to go into the root. Imagine a ball at the root of your spine. And this is colored red, and it's the earth, it's the lava. It's the thing that's holding us into the center. And cultivate the energy that's flowing up from there. Ujjayi breath, if you can do that. That upward flowing energy. So cultivate a concentration in the deep roots of your very existence by flapping these wings and getting energy to be pulled upward. Remember, today's practice is we're silencing the inner critic by cultivating energy, that prana. This may seem like we're doing this a long time. We're warming up, waking up those leg muscles and the stuff around there. I'm not going to give you a lot of anatomy today. I'm just going to let you experience any feeling. So go inside and notice if there's anything beginning to move. Remember, we're blowing away thoughts. Thoughts are not part of you. And then we're adapting with new thoughts. And the thought for today is, I am enough. 3 breaths, go slow. Don't push yourself to go any faster than you're ready. Wherever you are today, maybe wiggle around and exhale and stop. Wow, I really feel that. I invite you to rock the baby. So this is called Shishu Balasana. You're going to take one leg. So however you find it, however you root around and find that leg and see if you can pick it up. Maybe you can today. So I invite you to come down to your back. If you're having trouble just kind of grabbing your leg today, and rock your baby means to take this leg and rock it in and out. What we're doing today is cultivating friendliness and compassion for yourself. So let's say I can't do anything today. Just do nothing then. Just cultivate that you are separate from your thoughts. So let's say you do have the ability to wrap your arm and actually cradle this baby. I'm going to pause right there because I'm feeling a heck of a stretch on my outer hip. Remember, the real power comes from energy that's flowing. It doesn't come from who you are as if you're some static rock. You're not a rock. You are the perceptions in the space. So 1.1, that's the first paragraph. They're all numbered. 1.1, 1.1 is yoga is presence, and now yoga. So you've already done that. All you had to do was show up. We're rocking the baby, which is called Shishu Balasana. So we're letting energy, remember that Muladhara, that ball of energy at the base of the tail? Let that energy begin to swirl around and rise up now. Remember, we're doing about a minute of each of these. These are called kriyas, or cleansing rituals. And I like rituals. Getting back to my own stuff here, my own place, my own studio. I like rituals. I like being home. I like that feeling that I know what's coming next. Fill the bottom of your rib cage. Remember that our diaphragm mimics that pranayama. It goes down and up. Give this another 2 breaths. Feel the space opening up. And then release that leg. Wow, I don't know. I'm ready for Shavasana, guys. Let's see if we can try that other leg. Remember, feel free to come down. I'm going to come down just to show you what I mean here. So all we're doing is grabbing one leg and making it like a baby and rocking it side to side. So let's say I need to rest, relax. Maybe I haven't gotten good sleep lately. Maybe something's going on. Shishu Balasana. Rock the baby side to side. Now cultivate friendliness and compassion from the root, the Muladhara chakra. Remember, this is this red colored root of existence. This is home. This is safety. And all you have to do is 1.1. The very first line of yoga is presence. That's all you're required to do. Just show up. That moment by moment, you have a decision that you can immerse yourself in this now, this concept that I am here. I'm not reaching past. I'm not going beyond. I'm just here. Make sure you're not puddling. Energy up into the shoulders. We're not trying to create any more tension or strife or stress there. Shishu Balasana, rock the baby. There's really only 3 Kriyas we're going to do, and then we'll play around if we have time with a couple more asana poses. But these 3 Kriyas are the essence of bringing our body and our mind home. So the first one was that Patagasana. Remember the butterfly wings, flopping those around. And then the second one is Shishu Balasana. This is rock the baby. This is letting energy rise. 2 more slow breaths. And then let go. I invite you to make your way as slowly as possible into hands and knees pose. Remember, the very first line or the very first tenet of the principles of yoga are do no violence in thought or action. Well, action's kind of easy. Don't hurt anybody. That's kind of easy. It's actually not easy. But thought, that's really a challenge. So in hands and knees pose, align everything. Hands under shoulders, knees under hips. There's going to be 10 steps to what's called Nadi Vibhajan. Nadi. So we're cleaning out the nadis. Those are the channels of energy in the body. There's 10 steps, but don't worry, you got them already. The first one is a long spine. Rolling the heads of the arm bones open, contracting the lower belly muscles. Nadi Vibhajan. We're clearing out those rivers. So the neck and this is part of the spine. So just remember that. The second one is to round the spine or to rock the pelvis backward. You may know this one as cat, but it's just rocking the pelvis back. The third one is rocking the pelvis forward. Now that may ripple up through the spine and that may lift your head. You know this one is cow. So that's the third one. Coming back to a neutral spine, the fourth one is bringing one knee into your chest. You can round your spine or not. These aren't poses. These are parts of a cleansing ritual. And then the fifth one is to stretch that leg out back without lifting your hip up. So make sure you're not doing a twisting, floating motion. Keep strength and stillness. And then the sixth one is to go to the other leg. That is, take your other knee into your chest. And then the seventh would be to lengthen that leg out long. Remember, keeping that hip down. There's a tendency to want to lift the hip up. And then the eighth one is back to in hands and knees, tucking the pelvis and rounding the back. Again, you know this is cat, always cat first. And then the ninth one is that extension or rocking the pelvis forward, cow. And then the 10th one is that long neutral spine. So you already got it. So 1 is a neutral spine. 2 is rocking the pelvis back, tailbone under. 3 is rocking the pelvis forward, tailbone to the sky. 4 is bringing one knee into the chest. 5 is lengthening that leg out back. 6 is bringing the other knee into the chest. 7 is lengthening that leg out back. 8 is curling the back, tailbone under. Same thing we did before. 9 is rocking the pelvis forward. And 10 is a neutral spine. So you've got it. Here we go. Long spine 1. Rounded spine 2. Extended spine 3. One knee into the chest 4. That leg lengthens out 5. The other knee comes into the chest 6. Lengthen that leg out 7. Come down round the spine 8. Extend the spine 9. Come back to a neutral spine, and we'll do that again. 1, neutral spine. 2, round the spine. 3, extend the spine. 4, draw one knee into the belly. 5, lengthen that leg back. 6, transition to the other knee to the belly. 7, lengthen that leg long. 8, round the spine again. 9, extend the spine. Good. And 10, long, neutral spine. So one more time, you got it now. A lengthened spine, round the back. 3, extend the spine. 4, knee to chest. So you're breathing, right? 5, lengthen that leg back. 6, other knee to chest. That's the big transition. 7, lengthen that leg. 8, round the back. 9, extend the spine. 10, a long spine. Good. From here, let's move into a downward dog. So you've got that. All right, so let's say this is your first downward dog in a week. I know you're feeling this. Notice I have the heels of my hands off the floor. I'm doing that for several reasons. One, to remind myself that the heel of the hand doesn't bear the weight and the wrist doesn't crack. But 2, it makes me put all of my weight back into my hips, and that's where I want them. I want to feel something there. I just warmed up those hips with the Rock the Baby Kriya. Remember, our goal today is to dissolve the ego, because the ego is the source of that inner critic. See, I think I'm so great, or I think maybe I should be so great. And so that's why I care what everyone thinks of me so much. Begin to tiptoe forward and bend your knees and hang the upper body. We're going to try going into a one-legged forward fold, which is a real challenge. So let's get these two-legged forward fold going on first. Wiggle your toes around. Bend one knee, then the other. So feel free to grab blocks or your friend and hold on. Partner yoga is a really fun thing. It really is. Or you don't have a friend that's doing yoga with you, grab the blocks or the back of a chair or the counter in the kitchen. I do most of my yoga in the kitchen, waiting for something. And then cinch the waist to roll all the way up. Remember, what we're working on is getting ready for meditation. Boy, we're going a long way. That's because most of us can't sit. You can't sit for a long time. So find mountain pose. Shift your weight onto one leg. Spread the toes of that leg, those toes out. And then take this other leg and rock it forward and back. All right, I'm going to bring my hands because it's easier for me to remind myself, to train myself that this is what I'm working on. I don't want to get caught up in what's going on with the legs and the toes and all those other pieces and parts until I bring my mind back to the center, because doubts and chaos and confusion, that comes from your thoughts. And that causes us to forget who we really are. Remember, we're kind of this vessel, this thing that energy is flowing through. And we get to choose what we do with that energy. All right, you can go faster or slower. This is again like a Kriya, an energy cleansing nadi, and principle of cleansing. So you really have to brace the core here. 3 breaths. And then we'll go to the other leg. So without shifting too hard or too far, find those toes, spread them out. Kind of take each toe and open each one up. Brace the abdominals, stay as center as possible, and then other leg forward and back. Now this other leg is kind of stiff and hard. It's kind of like a club. You're swinging forward and back. All right, so it's hard. I find myself kind of pulling my shoulders up and in, trying to hold myself steady. against the swing of this leg. Now this leg can really be swinging. You can really like go fling it back and forth, but don't do anything in your low back. Don't let your low back rock forward and back. So hold on again. If you have a chair, by all means, use the chair. I put my hands together because it reminds me I am here now. It's like taking my thumbs and going, you know, this gal, this one. So I don't get caught up in everything going on around me. 3. Notice the interplay of the mind and the body. And 1. All right, let's come to 2 legs. That's a good amount of legs to have. And bring the blocks, if you have blocks, again, if chair, anything you have there. Coffee table, just watch out for it. Because when it needs something to hold on to, this is going to be a challenge. I'm going to touch the hands to the heart, lift the toes, spread them out, put them down. Inhale, circle up. Exhale, extend back. Inhale up. Exhale, swan dive into a forward fold. Now bring your hands to that thing, to your prop, and try extending one leg back. All right, so what I said before is I want you to be right where you are in this space. The idea is to rinse clean the space. So we're all are good at cleaning. That's all we're doing is we're rinsing clean the inner space. So stay where you are, but then slowly lean. So lean further forward. That might mean, you know, bending an elbow or walking your hands down to a lower object while you lift your leg up behind you. Now I'm going to pause right there. That's enough. That's more than enough. I'm going to call this forward fold. And so you can picture what a forward fold is, right? It's your head all the way down and, you know, your hips all the way up. In this case, your other leg all the way up. I'm not going to go all the way down. This requires a lot of strength and stability and balance in that standing leg and its hip. So train your mind to be in this chaos. This is chaos. One leg's up, 2 arms down, my head is upside down. Train your mind to lean into the chaos of the mind. Now do 3 breaths. Remember, these are the same 3 breaths we've done since the very beginning of our practice. Nothing has changed in our intent. You got it. And then bring this leg down. Let's do it again. So crawl all the way up. Remember that leg. How could you forget it, right? Bring the hands together. Just roll the shoulders. Kind of work out any stress or strain you've created there. Zip the abdominals in, lower the eyelids down. Pause, let the shoulders drop down. I just want to honor, once again, Muladhara chakra. The Muladhara is the bottom, the root. It's where the energy connects with, let's say, the earth. This is the root of all strength, inner knowing. It's at the base of the tail. So picture a globe of red there spinning, full of fire, full of potential. Now feel that heat and energy vibrate outward. And it does so with prana. That breath. Remember, you are not your thoughts. You are not a static thing. Your thoughts change. So don't identify. Like that if I say the wrong word, that becomes who I am. It is not. I am enough, remember. So open your eyes when you're ready. Inhale, circle up. Exhale, extend back. Come up. Now lean to one side. Pause there. Remember that the arm that you're leaning toward, don't let that one like fall down. Keep it up against your head. That's a common thing to do. And then keep lengthening the entire side of your body. 2 breaths here. So the poses are the trial. We're putting our body through that. Inhale up. Exhale to the other side. Remember, that other arm, bring it close to the head. Notice how it wants to fall down. Leave it reaching up and out. Yoga 1.2, the Yoga Sutra says, in the state of yoga, your inner perceptual space is absolutely clear. 2 breaths. come up and swan dive to that forward fold. So here's where you have to remember your other leg. Bring your hands to your couch, to your thing. Pause there. Almost always focus on keeping your spine long and straight. Almost always. Try extending now the other leg back. Pause there. Remember, I want you to stay where you were when we began. I want your mind to stay waiting for meditation. Then lean the body into this forward fold. So come down, the head and the arms lower, and that back leg up higher. In the space of yoga, really hard to think of this now. In the space of yoga, your inner perceptual space is absolutely clear. Not right now, right? Right now I'm thinking, I'm upside down. But the goal is to be in yoga. 2 more breaths. I'm challenging you, I know. I see you. And then bring that leg down. Make your way into plank pose. So go slow and figure out how you're going to get there. Don't ruffle your feathers. Don't do anything that's so challenging. All right, I'm about to give you another kriya that's really quite challenging. So this is kind of a spoiler. This is going to be hard. Come down to hands and knees. But I want you to think plank pose. Think about how hard plank pose was and how hard it would be to lift your knees up again. So just think this is going to be a challenge. Extend, let's say, your left leg straight back so that you can remember where we are. You should have felt a bracing going on in the lower belly as soon as you lifted your leg. If not, consciously add that step. Tuck your right toes under and lift that knee. Take the leg that's long, the left one, and bring the knee into the chest. As you do that, straighten your right leg. Now, bring the right knee down as you extend your left leg back. So they're going in opposite directions. As the left knee comes in, the right leg straightens. As the right leg goes back down, the left leg straightens. So left knee in, right leg straight. Right leg down, left leg straight. Do 2 more like that. So pull in and out. Pull in and out. And come down. Push back into child's pose. Let's do 3 or 4 slow breaths. Regroup. All right, one more time. Come up to hands and knees. Brace the abdominals. Lift the right leg straight back. Bring that hip down. You should have felt the lower belly pull in, squeeze it. Turn the left toes under, prepare. Press into the fingers, not the heel of the hand, remember. Now as you pull your right knee in, lift your left knee up. Your left knee comes down as your right leg extends back. So they're going in opposite direction. Here we go. Right knee in, left knee up. Left knee down, right leg back. Right knee in, left knee up. Left knee down, right leg back. 2 more like that. So go in and out. And in and out. And release that knee. Make your way slowly all the way down to your back. All right, when you come all the way down, close your eyes. Make sure your neck stays long though, so sort of drop your chin down. So one more time, bring the knees to the chest, but widen the knees out. Now rock side to side. All right, so here's the grand finale. In yoga, the goal is for the inner perceptual state to be clear, which may mean nothing to you right at this moment, but at the end of Shavasana, it'll mean something to you. The inner perceptual state will be clear. So I invite you to come into Shavasana. Come all the way down. And as your body is coming into a state of repose, relax all your muscles off their bones. De-stress all of your muscles. Let them melt and soak down. Dissolve the connections between your nervous system and your muscles so that your muscles are doing nothing. So for the next 3 or 4 breaths, I want you to imagine your breath represents a line of thinking, a thought. And every time you inhale, that's a thought. Any thought, whatever's going on. This floor is hard, I'm tired, whatever. And every time you exhale, that thought dissolves and there's silence. And so for the first breath, there's a loud thought. It has an image and it has words and it has a feeling, and then it dissolves. Next thought comes in, it's a little lighter, and then it dissolves. Notice that between thoughts, the silence grows bigger. And that hidden between the thoughts is your true self. With your next thought, give yourself permission to be whole again. In this space, journey into find your authentic middle. Journey in to find the center. And then notice your breath. Do that thing where you dissolve a thought with your breath. And you dissolve any connection to more thoughts. And now that you reside in the middle, you are in a place beyond all objects, all thoughts. There is just bliss. Feel the bliss. Train your mind to stay in the space you have created. hold your mind empty. Notice an infinite peace in this space. It's not outside of you, it's here. Now imagine this feeling, this heart full of love and compassion. Take that feeling, that space, and expand it. Make it bigger. Slowly, it begins to encompass your body. Slowly, it begins to grow bigger than your body. So that you reside in a space that's absolutely clear. And all desire dissolves. There's nothing you need or want. You're already here. And all is beautiful. Everything feels good. Inhale slowly, just taking in more bliss. Exhale slowly. Nothing is disturbed. Do that again. Take in more bliss. Slowly now begin to roll onto your side as you open your eyes. Begin to push off the floor and slowly lift yourself back up into Sukhasana, back into a sweet space. This is really where meditation begins. So wouldn't it feel good to bring the hands together, touch the heart, and bow the head? Just stay here. Now straighten the spine a little bit more. So don't flex forward. Find openness in that Sushumna, the column, the energy channel that connects us, the Mula, the base chakra, all the way up. Now lift the head and open the eyes. Inhale to circle up and stretch up. And exhale, stretch the arms out and collect back into getting rid of that inner critic. Namaste.